Testing, 1, 2, testing. Hmm. Oh, is the sound working now? Testing, 1, 2, testing. Oh, alright. Alright, we are live. Great. Fantastic. Okay. How can I share this? Is this the link? No, it is not. Yay, I did it! Haha! Okay, great. Fantastic. Okay. I wish I had another screen for this. Let's turn it off. Hmm. Okay, okay, okay. All right, cool. Everything seems to be going good. All right, that's good. That's good. All right, let's turn that down. Let's see if this works in Instagram. I'm going to restart this video. It's been on a loop for some reason, so we're gonna just restart it. Let's see. Let me just. How do I restart it? Oh, I know what to do. Okay, and bam. All right. Okay, so welcome. This is a tutorial of the Rick and Morty fan art that I did a few months ago, and pretty much it was like a process. So as you see on the screen right now, I am doing like some mock drawings, like stick figure stuff. And so, by the way, this is my channel for, I guess for now, going to be live streaming. I'm Killbread. This is my character Killbread here. If I can get to him, then I can do a little wave like this. Oh, that was his arm. Hello, say hey. All right. That's that. All right. So, this is me as an animated character talking about an animation or a design that I did. Uh, so as you can see on the screen. Oh, and by the way, if you see the fridge, that's just if you see Killbread go to the fridge, then that means I went to the fridge, like this. So just know that. I went to the bathroom, but I only had enough imagination to do a fridge reference. But yeah, if you see this, then and not this, then I am taking a break, but I am still letting the stream go for the most part. So yeah, just know that I'm gonna be back, and this me being here is me back. All right, great, good. Okay, so as you saw before, I was just doing mock drawings of stick figures to figure out the placing of it. I took this photo myself. I believe I was on the 3 train. And these are all characters I actually got off of a website that does like a transparent like cutouts of these characters. I use them all for references. So what you see here is not what I drew at all, but it is for a reference. I'm not even sure if these were taken out of the TV show or if someone drew them themselves and put them into this website that I can hopefully use as a reference and not get in trouble for it. But we'll see. But for now, I'm just using their static bodies as placement, trying to figure out where they kind of should end up, and just shrinking them to figure out placement and dimensions, spacing of the train. Now, as you can see, there's a lot of characters here, and in the final, I didn't actually get to do all of the I didn't get to do all of them, so I'm just kind of just placing around, trying to figure out where it is. For the most part. Yeah, and Jerry was hard to figure out where to put him after a point. As you can see, I'm just erasing some of his extra details that the file I downloaded left in. What else? So the placement of all of them kind of they just come at the moment. So at a point I'm just staring at all of them. I don't know what to do, and it's a time lapse, so it's moving really fast. So normally this is like a 2 hour job, and I put it's down to 20. So so what you're looking at here is pretty much just my placements of it, and at a point I just decide to just do one, and the first one I do is Rick. So I'm trying to figure out like if I should do a scene, if there should be some movement in there, if like you're just trying to get a good idea of what can happen. And there I go, taking all them apart, and let's see what I do here. Okay, so this is now a second test that I do to see how the blending works, to see if I can like get them behind an object or on top of an object and have it blend seamlessly. So this one of Jessica, I'm just trying to erase like where the pole is to see if I can get her behind the pole and see how that looks. And sometimes it doesn't look good, so this is a good test of that. And for I'm a Rick and Morty fan, but I forgot these guys' names. I want to say Jeff. Anyways, sorry, Rick and Morty fans. I forgot the name of this guy. Yeah, comment if there is one. If you know it. If you're in the chat for some reason, watching. Okay, so let's see. So yeah, I'm still doing the erasing, trying to figure out like placement and dimensions and all that. It's pretty simple. Like, just gotta like lower the opacity and see where it passes through, and then just erase where I can. Now in After Effects, it was a little different. You would actually erase, well, depending, but you would kind of erase the foreground and like place the characters behind it, because they could be moving if it was like an animation. But luckily, this is just a still image, so there's a little bit more like freedom in what you get to do. And this part right here, it's I just wonder if the sound is matching up with what I'm talking about. But anyways, yeah, and for the most part, just yeah, just trying to figure out where these guys can go. Meeseeks, the one and only. Now Meeseeks was originally gonna like headline like all of it. It's gonna be like the front and center guy, but I couldn't like after I did the few characters, and I actually had a deadline for this. I had like 2 days to make this, and I was prepping for it for about maybe a month before that, and I just didn't know like what to do. But I knew I wanted to do a live action setting and these cartoon characters in the foreground. Yeah, so and then they're all here together again to see it. It's a little bit jumbled right now. Um, and that's just kind of how it gets, and it's a bit confusing, but just trying to figure out the placement of it. What am I doing next? Okay, Als Einstein at the back. Let's see, let's see. Let's see something. Oh, and today is like my birthday, so I got like 30 minutes left until it's not my birthday anymore. Let's see. Okay, so what is next? Okay, so there's Morty. Took him out. Yeah, I cropped them out because this came in a package, Rick and Morty. All right, so this is the process where I do a rough outline, and I always do it in red because like I like to have my line work be known because there are imperfections in my line work, and it's how I feel like I'm making my own, and it's kind of how I take away the art, the character design from themselves, and this is how I mess around with like the movement of the body, and making sure the anatomy is still correct. So right now I'm doing Rick. Rick is the first one I started doing, and I'm pretty much trying to figure out like the placement of the legs. And for the most part, I do them on separate layers. If you can look to your right, I'm trying to like just get the lining, the size of the lining down. Then I can like rotate that part and just figure it out. A lot of it is a lot of guessing, so there is some like figuring out to do. Uh, let's see. So yeah, so this part I'm a little stumped on. I remember that. Let's see. Let's see. Okay. And let's see what he does here. Yeah. So what he does, what I do here. Okay. So then get the legs going. So because I want him to sit, and then I do the other legs on a separate layer, and then I turn it so that it looks like he's sitting on a slant or a slouch, like most New Yorkers do. And then I tried to see if I can do like a multi-dimension thing where I put multiple Ricks and see how that would look, see if it was funny or anything like that. I left it in there. Then I just was like, you know what? Let's just do one character at a time, see how that looks first, and then we can duplicate them and put them wherever. All right. So next is Morty. So I was gonna do just Rick and Morty and see how that played out, but I was like, but I kept going because I had more time. Yeah. So Morty is somewhat similar in his design that I took off the internet, but with just a slight change of the arm, which I had a little issue with here because wasn't sure on the placing of his fingers and everything, and it looks a little bit weird, and there I go messing it up. So I try it again, and then so it helps to like do a separate layer, and then try to get the anatomy just right, like, and then move it accordingly, so that you know where you want to move it. Yeah. Let's see, let's see. So then I erase the finer details, and there I go. So the pickle Rick actually, and the pickle Rick and the remote, I actually didn't bother drawing because I just wanted them to just be in the background. And here I am just adding some shadows. This is a brush tool, a soft airbrush, as you can see on the brush properties, just to like have them blend in. And then this is Snowball or Snuffles, whichever one you prefer. And I decided so I redid his character, and for the most part I didn't change anything about him, but there was one detail in the final that you can't really see unless you look really closely. But I did change one aspect about Snowball after the fact. But for the most part, this is all like line for line, no real changes to the artwork either. Um, yeah. Okay. I guess I skipped ahead. All right. So then that's done. I actually didn't know where to place Mr. Snuffles or Snowball at the time. Okay. Summer is there just for reference now, because I think that's where I want Summer to be. But I think I did change that. Okay, so now we're doing Squanchy. The Squanchy I wanted to look the most fun, while keeping his anatomy accurate. And so pretty what happened to my head? so uh Kilbread's head is weird. Yeah, so he was the hardest one to design, like in this motion that I have him in, where he's kind of like hanging to the side and like drinking his whatever that is. So a little pause here in this thing. I think I took a break and I forgot to pause the recorder. Let's see when I pick up again. Oh, there we go. So, uh, yeah, this one was tough because I needed him to like bend and contort, and I needed him to like be in a certain shape. So I have his design still, but I needed the arm is a little long, so I kind of had to cheat that. And then I skip ahead to the head on a separate layer, because I needed it to be placed just right, because the head was going to stay the same, but it just needed to turn on a different axis. Um, just to, yeah. And so this is just me figuring out Squanchy for the most part. Um, Here and then like, oh yeah, I put like a line over his eyes to show that he's drunk. This is like how I have liberties with changing the characters up a little bit. I drew the bottle in a separate layer, and I put that in. Then I had to mimic the mouth to make it look like he was drinking. So then there's this, yeah, there's this like separation of layer, and then like a redrawing of the mouth. What else is there? Okay, so then I'm going. Then I need to hold the bottle. Okay, and then he's on the side, and then he's mostly completed. Okay, who's next? Okay. Beth is next. So Beth, I didn't know what to do with at the time. I just knew I wanted to get these details down. Yeah. Let's see. Okay, so I decided to have her look up, and then I decided to open, like have her smile or like open her mouth or like to look at something. My head again. Jeez, sorry, Kilbert. All right, so hold on, I need more light. Ugh, okay, so the camera can pick up the tracking. Yeah. Okay, so as you can see, this is the same formula, just drawing it. Again, the anatomy right, so then I can bend and contort the limbs where I need to. Then just redraw wherever the limbs would attach to, and then what? Okay. Yeah. Okay. Sorry, I was talking to somebody. Actually, 1 second. All right, I'm back. All right, cool. I'm back in. All right, so looks like I did Beth. I had her just looking up at Squanchy for the most part. That was kind of by luck. I was gonna do something else, but yeah. And so the mouth was a little bit hard to draw open, and I didn't want to just go and watch an episode to like get it. I kind of wanted to just figure it out to see how like her mouth would just move properly. So that's what I did. Um, yeah, and I had her cross her legs in the final. Mr. Poopy Butthole, uh, labeled him. I don't know. I kind of just had him, not creepy, but like you know how like he's like kind of in the shadows. So I just had him like kind of be like kind of weird, like at the bottom of the subway, like in reference to an actual person that would do that in a New York City subway train station. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, his design was fairly easy to do. Same head, the same like positions and everything. Just the limbs are spread apart instead of stationary together, giving him more movement. Oh, and I opened his. I had him like have his mouth open, and later on I put him underneath that. What's next? Oh yeah, the toilet. Fun fact: the toilet was actually what I wanted to do first. I wanted to um, I wanted to pretty much just have Rick on the toilet, like in Times Square. So that I originally took a photo in Times Square, and I wanted to just have like Rick somewhere in the middle, and like match the lighting so that he's like actually there, like Space Jam or Roger Rabbit. So I put the toilet in there just for fun. I didn't know I was gonna keep it, but I just put it in there for fun. Um, you don't see that every day in the subway. None of the characters you see are uh, here every day in the subway. And uh, I really like the Kirkland brand Meeseeks from the new season, and I kind of just just put them in there instead of the original Meeseeks, unfortunately. But I like the bitterness of the character. It really um, emphasizes the you know a it really emphasizes a New Yorker in many ways. Um, okay, who do I do next? I'm doing uh, Golden Field. I'm doing Golden Field next. Let's see. So Golden Field actually changed up a little bit more. Again, to emphasize the traditional commuter, where he's sleeping and there's drool coming from him, and like his eyes are closed, uh, and so like it was fairly easy to do. Um, and as you can see, for some parts of the body, the anatomy actually, even though there's nothing behind it, I still draw out what like his arm and his belly kind of cut off, but I still draw the belly, the rest of the back or the rest of the torso, to kind of just get an idea of where that the rest of that would go. Um, I guess because I mean I'm sure artists do this, but as an animator, I make sure that like the body continues, even though the camera or whatever the audience sees can't see it. What's next? Okay, so yeah, there he is sleeping. I had him tilt over, his head tilt. Uh, oh, I think that's the end of it. Okay, great. That was the end of that. So let's open up the second one. It's gonna be very dark for a second. You're not gonna see Kilbert talk for a second because I have to do this through the program. All right. Here is two, and after this is pretty much how it wraps up. So almost done. So we're almost done here. Let's see. So now we're doing summer, and summer again. Another. Well, these are all traditional like New Yorker traits, commuter traits. Excuse me, in a way. So summer is I guess, and to her character is the one that's always on her phone texting and all that. So this is actually fairly hard to figure out because like a lot of her extra body is like I'm struggling with the other hand, as you can see, trying to get her to like have that like phone holding hand, and trying to reference a phone without using a phone, because again I'm like rushing, so I only have like maybe 10 more hours until this thing is delivered, and I'm like 6 hours in already. So yeah, just getting the legs right. Yeah, just like slice it in half, put it in a slight slant, and then maybe adjust the feet to better like show her like positioning. Yeah. Okay, so everything is connected here. Good, good. All right, now we have most of the characters here lined up and they're seated, and then they're nice and look. So now this is like right before we get into the actual like darker lines. This is where like I set it up so I know this is ready, and this is where like I pretty much lock in the designs of everyone, and then I go from there. And now starts the inking, well, the black inking. So and the red ink really like stands out over it. Why did I put Rick next to the other Rick? Oh, I guess to match the lining and to match color. So I needed the colors to match. Let's see here. Hmm. Yeah. So the program I'm using here, in case anyone's curious, I'm using Autodesk Sketchbook. It's a free app from Autodesk, which also does the 3D software Maya, which is a very expensive, very hard to learn, at least for me, program that does 3D everything from animation to visual effects and stuff like that. But yeah, Sketchbook is a free app you can use. Not sponsored, I guess I have to say. But just yeah, I prefer it, and this is how I design everything. I don't use Illustrator because I'm not a fan of Illustrator. Unfortunately, it's a very unpopular opinion. Yeah, so so I'm just doing the line work here. I try to do it as smooth as possible. There is a tool to help me make sure the lines are smoother and not as wobbly. Um, and I'm trying to just make sure that everything is good. The lining works. Yeah, and I have a cutout of Rick there for coloring, so the colors match in every aspect. I actually make a copy of when the line work is done, the darker line work is done. I make a copy of that line work, and then because in case I mess up for any reason, I have to go back and change a color or change something. I have the original like line work before the coloring, and then I have a duplicate which has color in it. I do that for every one of my designs um, that I do. All right. Let's see. Let's see. Okay, I had a little issue here with the hands, but I fixed it because I wanted the flash to be on top of the hair and not behind it. So make sure the color is right. I do a color picker. I messed up and I accidentally called the entire background just now. Yeah. Uh, so that means if the entire background colors like becomes a like when I try to like autofill everything when it becomes one color, that means I it's on a separate layer and the loop is not closed. So um, in certain aspects, when you draw like a circle um, and you try to autofill it with a color, it can close. But then if there's like a if it's not completely closed, like there's like a little bit of it, it's not touching. Like so, if I draw a circle, it's not touching. Then yeah, it'll and I try to fill it with ink, it won't fill. It'll actually cut through that that line and fill whatever else is behind the canvas. Uh, what else is going on here? Okay, so I did the coloring and now I did the cutting out of the foreground because I want him behind that pole. And now I'm doing lighting, uh, trying to get the lighting right. Um, oh yeah, I forgot to color in the back of his coat, and that was a trick to do. So now I'm going back to lighting. I'm trying to figure out what the best possible case is. I do different blending effects to see how that works. I try to make it dark. I'm using a white light reflecting off of the ceiling, off of the train's like side lights. Let's see, trying to make his hair a little whiter. Like lighting goes a long way, actually. It really does. Not so much on the color white, but we'll see what I do with it. So now I'm using a dark airbrush. I usually use airbrushes for all my lighting effects in the digital art. So yeah. Okay, so trying to make the coat a little bit darker. The pant legs. The side, the shading, like it helps a lot once it like comes together. And he's like Rick is looking a little more to the scene or to the environment. Then we get some more white lighting here, some darker shadows where they might be darker shadows. And one thing I actually discovered as I'm, oh, like I said, I'm not doing it yet, but I'll get to that. Okay, so doing Morty, yeah. So I'm doing the eyes. So yeah, like again, when I do my own line work, um, it's for my own imperfections that I want to see, so that like it's not like copy for copy. There's going to be imperfections, and I prefer to have it um, in my character designs. I don't like the perfect straight lines, even in his. Like I actually like I erased some of the things I feel like shouldn't be there. Like a little bit, if it's like a little bit overlapping, I'll try to smooth that out as much as possible. Huh. Okay. Thought I saw a bug. All right. So yep, I have a reference to Morty to get all the colors down. So now Morty is good to go. Now I just have to fix the lighting on Morty, and here I go with the airbrushes again. All right, got the hair. Yeah, some lighting, some more lighting. I'm a little bit rough on the lighting on Morty for this one, and I probably shouldn't have been because he's like a skinnier or thinner design. So the airbrush depends on the thickness, the size of the airbrush. Like it'll overlap quickly. So if I use a smaller one, it'll be like thinner lines. So it's a bit of a hard call on some of those. Uh, yeah. So oh yeah. So I didn't want that to be a problem to be that dark line to be there. I wanted it to like pass through like the skin. So try to delete that part. Okay. So if you see him glowing like that, that means I'm trying different blending modes. So like they go like a long way. If you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. Then when I get into it, I usually use overlay or maybe soft whatever they call it, soft spot, soft glow. Most of them overlay though. Oh yeah, so here's what I discovered. Because I wanted the reflections to be inside the train, and it was my first time working with that. Oh, it ended. That's weird. I thought I had. I thought I. Okay. Huh. I don't have any more time lapses. Interesting. Well, while I go find that, I will end this live stream for now. But yeah, that's pretty much it. That's well, not it, but I have to go find the other files because apparently I don't have them. Let's do a quick check, shall we? Nope, I did not make them. I only made two. Huh. Rick and Morty. Uh-oh. Shit. I don't have the other time lapses, and I probably moved them to another folder, and I don't know where the folder is. Great. Uh-oh. Is it? Nope, it's not in there. Oh, boy. It's not in there. Where would I put them? Yeah, I'm just gonna end this because yeah, it's just a dark background, not that appealing. So, yep. Okay. Great, 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 great. Um, yeah. So I'm just gonna end it right here. All right. So if you like this, thank you. If you saw it, um, they subscribe. I mean, this again, this is a test. I'm trying to figure things out. I don't have my official mic on me, stuff like that. But if you like it, then tell me what you think, and comment and share and subscribe once it goes up again. So, all right, bye.